Today I'm taking hundreds of tiny pieces of waste fabric and I am turning them into a gorgeous quilt. It's scrappy quilts like these that will make you wish you had more leftover fabric because you will want to keep doing them over and over again. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Let's start by sorting through our scraps. I want to separate them by color regardless of the size or pattern. We're using a couple of scraps per block, but I want to keep each block under one color. You don't have to do that, of course, but that's how I'm seeing it in my mind. I'm looking to create 4-inch squares with my scraps, and I want 40 of them, give or take. So I'm going to be using loads of scrappy goodness today. I'm even using my browns for this one. Brown fabric. I never know what to do with it. It does not matter because it will still look gorgeous. So go ahead and get those ugly fabrics you've been hiding because we are going to use them today. All bets are off. I'm actually trying a quilt block I have never done before, and I need 160 2-inch wide squares to make it happen. If you're doing your math right, by now you're thinking, wait, 44-inch blocks do not make a quilt. And you're right, of course. Well, unless it's like a dollhouse quilt or one of those teeny tiny baby quilts. But even when I make a small version of the top, it's still a quilt pattern you can use to make a whole quilt. And I want you to be able to know that from the start, and that's why I call them quilts, regardless of their size. Okay, now I need to trim these beauties into 4-inch squares, but I'm debating if I should keep them all nice and straight, with a cute cross marking the center, or if I should do some off-center. So many options. What do you think I should do? I'm a free flow kind of quilter. I love not having two blocks alike, so I'm very tempted to make them all different and wonky. But you know what? I can see Mike over there really sweating because he likes it all parallel and straight. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that and keep it simple. And here's our first square. Let's make more. At the same time, if I'm making a tablecloth, it's still the same as a summer quilt. Or if I'm making a table runner, I'm still using the same process I would for a quilt. It's just smaller. So there you go. I don't know how it is for you, but as much as I consider myself a quilter first and foremost, I do not want to make just quilts. I want to do anything and everything I can use my quilting knowledge, the one I picked up over the years, and share it all with you, of course, and have a lot of fun in the process. And look at all these cute, colorful squares. We could just sew them all up and be done, and it would still look awesome. But we're not doing that. I've actually done similar blocks in the Fireworks quilt and my Accent Plus quilt too. And I just love how adding these teeny tiny white squares to a block can turn it into something completely different. But for those, I was adding 2 corners. Today, I am adding all 4 corners and turning this square into a diamond. So we essentially replace the square corners with white by sewing them diagonally in each corner. Now we need to do this as carefully as we possibly can because if we do not get our white squares right, we won't get straight square blocks. And that's going to come back and haunt us when we're sewing the blocks together. Also, don't forget to cut the excess fabric once you're done to keep the blocks nice and flat. And before we know it, we have our very cute quilt block. How simple and fun was that? Let's make 39 more. And of course, as per my usual, I have no idea what this quilt block is called. So if you do, please let me know. All I know is I wanted to use my scraps and I wanted a quick project that would look really special and unique once it was done. Inspiration really does strike at the most odd times. It's so unexpected. As usual, you can sew one block at a time, all the 4 corners, or you can just chain sew these and add one corner to several blocks, then go back and add the next one until you get all 4 corners covered. It does not matter how you do it, because before you know it, we're done and our blocks are looking ready for pressing and trimming. And these are so gorgeous. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Working with scraps really is turning trash into treasure. And it doesn't matter how pretty or ugly your fabrics are when you're doing this project, because we're using tiny crumbs. So the pattern doesn't even show much. As long as it's not like a hideous color, you're good. And look at these, how pretty are they? All one of a kind. Now, if you'd like a written tutorial for this quilt pattern, I will be adding one soon to my website. And I have so much fun adding these patterns on there, even though I have zero knowledge of what it takes to create or keep a website. Thank goodness for Squarespace. I could not do this without them. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to create your own website, even if you have no idea how to start. You can build a personalized website, blog, or online store using a designer template and then customize it to fit your style and needs. Or you take advantage of the AI and have a professional-looking website in minutes. Squarespace has something called Design Intelligence, a generative AI tool that allows you to visualize and adapt every detail of your website to bring your creative ideas to life. And also the Blueprint AI that basically builds a website for you. No web design, no coding required. Squarespace is the easiest website builder I've tried so far, and it offers so much more than that. It has all the marketing tools and integrations to help you drive more traffic, engage with your audience, and reach more customers. Squarespace Payments, for example, has all the popular payment methods in one place without having to connect to a third party. It doesn't matter if you're an author, an artist, or a small business owner. Squarespace has everything you will ever need to make your online presence known. You can start a free trial at squarespace.com or use the code SOEASY and save 10% on your first purchase of a website or a domain. I'll leave the link in the description so you can check out for yourself. Okay, I know I'm doing a 4x10 block layout because I want a table runner. I also know I've got rainbow colors here because those are the ones I love. So those are the colors I get when I'm buying fabric. So naturally, that's the leftover scraps I've got. So the question here is random or rainbow wash? You know what? Let's mix it up. As for sewing, I like to sew my longer rows first. So instead of doing 4 block rows, I prefer 10 block rows, and then I'll only have 4 of those to sew before I'm done. For some reason, it just feels like less work this way. So let's do that. Now, if I was finishing this project with you, I would totally do quilt as you go. So by now, I would just press my rows and then start sewing them. That way, I wouldn't have to quilt the whole thing after making my sandwich and, my pretty diamonds would still shine. But because I'm not doing that with you right now, I'm just going to keep sewing by joining our rows together, making sure those corners match perfectly by nesting my seams. This is looking so gorgeous and I am ready to press it all into place. I pressed not only to flatten the seams, but also to lock them in place. It just helps your quilt last longer. Also, let's trim this beauty because I am ready to show it to you. And here we have it, our very cute, very easy table runner ready to go. I had so much fun with this one. And if you enjoyed it as well, you will love this table runner right here. I did it using Quilt As You Go. See you soon, bye bye!